Hulle is groot, imposant en lyk baie na die wolwe wat in die noordelike ysvelde gesien kan word. Tog is die Malamute 'n uitstekende huishond wat ten spyte van sy digte pels goed in ons klimaat aangepas het.
The Inuit Eskimos, actually called the Malamutes, were the first tribe to have the Alaskan Malamute. They assisted them in the collecting of foods. If they did a kill, then the Malamute actually went out and assisted to bring the meat back. They actually lived with the tribe within the igloos, and the children actually slept with them. So the dogs actually kept the children warm. The dogs were then found by people who were moving in amongst the different tribes, and during the gold rush, they were used to transport all their heavy equipment. It even moved on to the different world wars, where the dogs were used to transport cannons, equipment, supplies in very harsh mountainous areas, and they've gone on to be the freighting dog of the north. And they pull up between 1 and 2 tons. So then they start off and they actually do a leap, and that leap is through their chests. So the Malamute does work a lot through its chest. So when you're working with it as a puppy, you must not work with a harness on it, because all you're going to do is build up that chest, and then when you take it for a walk, you're going to be pulled. So you must then teach it rather on a lead to walk through the neck.
Hierdie honde maak 'n baie imposante prentjie en ons wou weet hoe die tipiese persoonlikheid gewoonlik is.
You'll find that the breed itself is a strong character, can be a little stubborn, but you don't need to do major discipline work. It will actually try and fit in with the family. They're very regal when they get old and they mature. It's almost everybody's friend. That's the nice thing about a Malamute, is they are a working dog, and therefore they will bond with, the entire family. It basically bays and it communicates with a rather deep growl, which is actually a friendly thing, not a bad thing. The Malamute does look you straight in the eye, not in an aggressive manner, but to actually read who you are. And if they are suspicious about you, they snort and they make it known. But other than that, the Malamute is not meant to be an aggressive dog in any time.
En waarna kyk 'n mens wat konformasie en kleure aanbetref?
Structurally, they need to have a strong head, good strong muzzle, good bite, nice neck. The dog actually needs to be more rectangular. The squarer the dog, it's unable to get it stretch out. The dog needs to be able to move. It always needs a good strong chest, good rear, and a tail that drops over the top of its back. The tail is actually quite important for survival, because in the snow, when they round themselves up into a ball, the last thing that happens is that tail drops over that nose, and they actually then breathe through the hair of the tail. Weight-wise, the females, you're looking between 30 and 35 kgs, and your males can be anything from 55 to even up to 60 kgs on a good substantial male. If it's an Alaskan Malamute, it has the darkest brown eyes that we can get. There are no other variants. We don't produce the blue eyes. To be a true Malamute, it's just a brown eye. The one that most people know is a grey and white dog, okay? Then you get from there, you get the stretch of other colors that come into play. You get your red, you get your chocolate, you get your black and white. You do get your sable and white, which is an added color in, which is like quite a cream tone, and it actually looks extremely attractive. And then on very rare occasions, you do drop out your white.
Hierdie ras is oor die algemeen baie gesond as jy by 'n verantwoordelike teeler koop. Die grootste oorweging is die onderhoudswerk om daardie hare mooi en skoon te hou.
When you're grooming them, you go from tummy to top, tail to across to the head. Everything, we lift that coat, aerate it, and then you find your Malamute has no issue, because you're stripping out that undercoat as well. Whereas if you just go the normal route, basically you'd be smoothing a coat. So we need it to be lifted the opposite way. The coat actually assists them with their temperature regulation. The dog itself is an intelligent animal, so it knows in summer to step into water. It drinks about twice the quantity liquid than most dogs. And that also is something that it's developed and knows how to cool itself down. It understands that during the heat of the day, it stays down and it rests. And you'll see your Malamute will activate again around about 4 o'clock, and then it plays to its heart's content. In Alaska, it gets extremely hot to melt the ice caps. The Malamutes handle it very well.
Ons weet almal van Balto, die Malamute, wat naam gemaak het met sy dapperheid en deursettingsvermoë. Maar in hierdie huis bly daar 'n ster in eie reg.
One of my own dogs, whose name is Smooch, he was the lead wolf in the movie that was recently released in 2012, Vulverdance and Esquema. And he had such fun. We had to actually do a lot of makeup work on him to make him look more wolfish, but he is the wolf in that movie.
Is hulle nie pragtig nie? Maar daarmee is ons kuier vandag weer op 'n einde.